Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be actually building in Tiny Town today. We're not going to be actually doing gameplay of Tiny Town. I will be back next week with some gameplay, but I wanted to use the rest of the money that Lucinda earned from her gameplay last week. I wanted to use the rest of that to kind of fix up the church a little bit and kind of make more of like a town center, just kind of bring a little bit more attention to like what the tiny town is like built around. So I wanted to do that with you guys today. I already went ahead and I actually filmed it off camera, but I have it right here on my laptop sped up so that I can just kind of like talk you through what I did, and maybe we can like chit chat and like get to know each other a little bit more. I think that would be a lot of fun and just kind of like relaxing and chill for today. So hopefully you guys are into that. Before we jump into it, while everything is loading up, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below so that you don't miss another video from me. And I would love it if you guys could join my friend fam so that you don't miss another Simmers Sunday video. I think we have a lot of fun over here, and it's my dream to make this my career. I think that this is something that I'm good at, and I hope you guys enjoy my content and you want to stick around for some more. So let's go ahead and jump on in to the builds. Also ignore if I look busted. I know that for a couple videos or a couple recordings I guess, I looked absolutely dreadful because we were sick, and now I'm having like a bad eczema like reaction and breakout. So we're trying to take care of that. So that's why I look a little busted right now. So like I said, I did kind of start building this off camera. So you'll kind of notice at the first, I definitely made the church a lot smaller. And I did this off camera before I even started recording, but I made it a lot smaller because the whole purpose for the church was kind of to be like, I want someone to get married in it eventually. Like maybe Marina Bay and Anzor could get married in it, or maybe if Penny Pizzazz and like Lucinda decided to get married, they could get married in it. But I just kind of wanted a place that they could get married, and like this is Halloween Town, so I don't know, I just kind of thought like a kind of like rundown older church for their town center would be kind of like a fun storyline for Halloween Town. So that's kind of why I decided to go with a church. The issue with the church though was I felt like it was like taking a lot of space away from people's houses. Like I made it way too big to start with. I originally kind of was thinking that everyone could kind of do their job, I guess you would say, in the church and have like a specific like part of the building to be like where they do their work. But I kind of since have changed my mind on that, and so I'm making the church a lot smaller. I also had this really fun idea because like Rika and Aradia, they had a pond in front of their little rundown cabin, and Aloe Vera is like right across the street from them, and he has plants like that. He's going to be the plant sim. So I had this idea for a while now actually that I wanted to have their pond, Aradia and Rika's pond, I wanted it to kind of circle around Aloe's house so that it kind of like, I don't know, I just thought that like with all of the plants that he's going to have around his house that it would look really nice. So I did that. And it actually doesn't really connect because as you see it changed the watercolor on Rika's pond, and I didn't necessarily want her pond to be changed. I liked kind of the dirtiness of her pond. I thought that it matched the vibe of her house a lot. So it actually ended up being separated, but it's so close together that you can't really tell, and if I hadn't have told you, you probably wouldn't have been able to tell. So they actually are two different waters. As you can see, there's like a little tiny sliver that's separating them. This one isn't like a super clear water either. I just feel like the super clear water wouldn't make sense in like a Halloween Town vibe. And I mean, like there's a lot of modern builds and stuff, but I feel like, I don't know, it just wouldn't make sense. So it does have like leaves and stuff in it. It's not like dirty by any means, but it does have like leaves and stuff in it. And then I made a cute little bridge. And I'm honestly so excited and really, really happy for how this turned out. And when I first built this, I was kind of nervous if it would actually work just because it's placed so close to like the end of the lot. So I was pretty nervous that it might not work because sometimes Sims can be temperamental with things and like placement on the grid and stuff, but it actually does work and I'm really happy about it. So gold star for that. And I don't know, it just kind of brings the good vibes, you know, of the little tiny town. Just like you cross a bridge to like get onto the lot. I don't know, it just made it, I don't know, just come alive, I guess. It looks really, really good. And I did kind of put in the church, as you can see, I did put a kind of like fake like wedding setup, if that makes sense. So like there's like a chapel area, as you can see, like with all the like pews or like benches or whatever you want to call them. I put a lot of those in there in like the main room, and it's basically leading up to like a fake arch thing. I know that not a lot of churches look like that. Like the church that I grew up in definitely didn't look like that by any means, but I'm thinking like really, really old, like rundown church. And like maybe before this had like people like pastors and stuff that would like speak into a pulpit, and there is actually a pulpit or like a podium in The Sims 4 that I could have put there instead, but I decided to opt out of that just because I don't think any of the Sims that I have are like doing any kind of like public speaking or anything. So I don't know, I just felt like that didn't really make sense in the build, and I'm mostly going to be using this for like if my Sims don't have a bed yet, they can sleep on the benches and just like shelter and helping them get their needs up while they don't have the things that they need to care for themselves at their house. So that's mostly what this is made for, and also I would like someone to get married in it eventually, so I wasn't too concerned about having a podium in there or not. I will say the church was kind of being temperamental, and it was honestly probably mostly to do with me because I was kind of moving it around a lot. Originally it was kind of in the way of especially like Marina Bay and Anzor's house when it was super big, and I don't know, I wanted them to have more space to live in, if that makes any sense. Even though like Marina, like her big thing is going to be like her pool and stuff, but I don't know, I just didn't want the town center to take up everybody's space, and it was just being kind of temperamental. So I ended up kind of having to do move objects, which is just if you go into Control-Shift-C, you can type in bb.move objects, and then you can kind of move objects a little bit more freely to place things because it's a pretty tight fit, and actually you actually can sleep on these benches even though they're so tight together. But the I put the like down a wedding walk, and it's actually going through a door, so I'm actually not sure if it works. That's the one thing that I haven't tested yet, but hopefully it works, and if not we can figure something else out. But I don't know, I just kind of thought that that'd be fun to like you go through a door to like get down to the aisle. I thought that that would be kind of fun and cute. The castle estate kit honestly came through with me with pretty much everything on the church build, because I'm pretty sure like the door, at least the outside door, is from there, and also all the wallpapers and stuff that I use especially for the outside is from that kit. So it really came through for me. It's just like the perfect kind of kit for like an older brick build, like kind of like an ancient, I don't want to say ancient ruins, but like kind of ancient old like masonry kind of build, like kind of what the church would be like, basically like a really old church. So it really came through for us. And then I also used some of the like romantic garden stuff and just like some very old looking like freak, what word am I looking for? I just forgot what I was going to say. Never mind. Yeah, I used some of the like romantic garden pillars too. I just felt like they looked really good, and it kind of matched the like older kind of brick vibe that I was going for this church. I don't know about you guys, but the church that I went to growing up was very old. I'm pretty sure it was like built in like the 1800s old. Like it was old. It was like moldy downstairs and you still went to class down there. It was really, really gross. So I thought that it worked pretty well. So I did kind of struggle with roofing the church for just a little bit, and some people might not like what I ended up doing, and I still can't really fully decide if I like it or not, what I ended up doing, but I'm gonna keep it for now because I think that it looks like visually appealing and it all kind of works together. But instead of making a roof, I basically just like put the castle estate fence up, which makes it look more like a castle and not much like a church. Like, I get it, I understand, but I didn't really know what else to do. And I also wanted to make like the roof part of the church be like accessible, because I thought like maybe putting a telescope up there or like something, or like after you get married maybe you could like throw your reception up there. I don't know, just kind of have some kind of like activities for the townies to do. I thought that would be really fun. I don't know if I'm going to end up using it that way, but for now that's kind of what my idea is. Still haven't decided if I like it or not, but we're sticking with it for now. It does definitely make it look more like a tiny castle than it does a church, I guess, though. But I mean, I don't necessarily mind it. I feel like it doesn't look like too terrible. I will say I had a lot of fun with the picking windows out for this church. I don't know, it was a lot of fun for me. The windows definitely kind of, I feel like since I went with white for the windows and stuff like that, it makes it look not as old. I definitely could have gone with other options, especially with the New Life and Death pack. That one has a lot of good, like, more broken down options that I could have went with, but I liked kind of a more like refurbished old church, if that makes sense. I feel like a lot of the builds that I've been making in Tiny Town are kind of like, it's an older home, it's an older style home, but like they refurbished it, they refinished it, so it's like a little bit more modern. I still feel like the church definitely has like the old classic quirky charm of a church. It kind of honestly reminds me of the cartoon Robin Hood. It kind of reminds me of that church. So maybe that's how old this church is. I don't know. But I had a lot of fun picking out like the windows and stuff for this church. And I don't know, I don't get to do like a lot of, I mean, I guess I can do whatever I want, but I don't usually get to be creative like this. Like usually I build like a house and then I play with a family in a house. I don't really go into building like community centers or anything fun like that. Or like even when the castle kit came out, like everyone was building castles and I literally built Rapunzel's tower. Like, I don't know, I don't usually build stuff like this, so this was really fun for me to build. This little church was. And even though there's not like a podium in here, like they don't have like meetings or anything in here, like religion isn't really like a thing in The Sims, which is honestly probably for the best. I think that would be weird, but also kind of cool if that was incorporated in it. It would be like fun, but also, I don't know, it could put a spin on things, honestly. But I mean, you could probably play with your Sims as if they had a certain religion if you wanted to. So anyway, as I was saying, I know that they don't have like actual like church type meetings in The Sims for this, but I was picturing like if they were to do like a Sunday service or something, some kind of spiritual service in this church house, like what would I want? Like my attention really did go into that chapel portion for the majority of this build because I wanted to make sure that it looked right, and make sure that it had like a good kind of like, I don't want to say heavenly flow, but I don't know how else to describe it. Like it had a good like lightness of it so that it was like nice and pretty and like a good vibe really, because even though I don't like participate in church or like religion a whole ton anymore in my adult life, I still like believe in God, and it's just a good vibe and a good like feeling to just have at least like that kind of belief system. So I wanted to make sure that I like emulated that in this build as much as I possibly could. I don't know if that sounds stupid. I don't know if people are gonna hate me for that, but that's just kind of what I wanted it to feel like in this build, and hopefully it comes across okay. I feel like it does for the most part. But it does also lean castle-y too, so maybe it just doesn't. So I partitioned off like a part of the upstairs, so it has like a big space where you can like look down, kind of like a open freak. What is it called? You can like look to the bottom, kind of like a balcony, but it's like inside the house. I'm like forgetting the words, but anyway, I partitioned off a second room upstairs, and even though this is like meant for like a wedding, so this is basically like a wedding venue that I'm building, I thought that it would be nice to have like a shower, toilet, sink for the Sims in Tiny Town that don't yet have those available to them in their house. I thought that it would be a good idea to have it available to them, at least in the town center. And I know that churches normally don't have showers. They usually just have like a like toilet and a sink. So this was a little office. I figured I would swing it by being like, oh, it's a wedding venue, and like maybe you want to like shower, make sure you smell good before you get married, was kind of what I was going for. So our church town center does indeed have a shower, and you know what? It's kind of weird that a church would have a shower, but I'm gonna stick with it. It is what it is. I will say I actually definitely did like try to make the shower make sense in like an older church. So like it's more made out of like brick, like dark brick and stuff like that. I didn't really want to put like a ton of modern touches in here. I wanted to kind of keep the old classic masonry of like a church, because I feel like that's a lot of like charm, you know? Maybe not all churches are like that. Not all churches are like old and decrepit like the ones that I'm used to being in are, but I wanted it to kind of have that vibe, especially since it's Halloween Town. And this, I'm so obsessed with this. The Sims has a ton of like big light fixtures that you can't really fit into like normal spaces. So I have a chandelier that comes in the middle, like kind of facing down where the foyer is, and you can actually see it through the window on the outside. And I think that this is just such a beautiful touch, especially for a church. It looks just so elegant and just beautiful. And I love the two lights that are coming down on the windows on this side as well. But do you see what I mean? When you look through the outside, it just looks so good. I love the way that that turned out with the light fixtures. It just looks so elegant and so pretty, and oh, look at that view with the lights looking through. It looks really good. I'm like geeking out over that, but like I love that feature. I love that little touch. I will say I did struggle on the interior walls of this build. Like I said before, I don't usually build anything other than like a simple house in The Sims, so that's kind of why I wanted to try Tiny Town out, so that I could be like challenged with my building, because that's something that I wanted to get better at in The Sims. For a second, I really liked this marble one, and honestly, looking back at it now, maybe that one would have been the better call, because it does look very exquisite and very fine and rich. But I don't know, there's just something about that marble that just, I'm not a marble person. Even with like countertops and stuff, I'm not a marble person. Yeah, I don't like marble. It's not for me. I think I might be one of the only people that don't like it. And then also trying to match the stone that I used for the staircases, to match that with the wallpaper, for some reason I was having a hard time with as well. I don't know, I struggled with the interior wallpaper design aspect. I don't know why I struggled so much with it, but I think it ended up working out in the end. Okay, so now we're getting into more of like curtain placements and stuff like that and picking out curtains for it. I love the curtains that I picked to go in the castle, or not the castle. Oh my gosh, I'm calling it a castle. It's a church. I love the curtains that I chose to go into the church because I think that they really set the like tone of like this is a church. I feel like, I don't know if it's just me, but if you think about it, like especially these curtains that I'm putting in right now, I was so excited because I don't know about you guys, but my church, when I was growing up, my church definitely had a ton of these like lace doily like curtains on like every window. It was that or like the really thick white, they're like hard to explain because they're like thick, but they're also very sheer curtains. I don't know how to explain them, but my church had a lot of them growing up. So when I saw these options for curtains for this, it was like game, set, match. That's perfect. That's what we're going with. Like, look how perfect those are. The little like lacy curtains. I don't even know what pack that's from either. I wasn't paying attention. But those are perfect, I feel like, for this church. And I was happy about that. Going along with decorations, I also knew that I wanted some kind of like bust or some kind of statue figurine in the corners by the stairs. And then I saw the armor guy and I was like, that's perfect. I love it. Like, I don't know why, but for some reason I feel like that just works in this build with Tiny Town. It just works perfectly. And I do kind of want to put two of them up in the where like the bathroom door is too. Oh yeah, I don't know if I said this, but the bathroom is kind of like the get ready or kind of like the bridal suite. Like if you were to get married, there would be like a bridal suite for you to get ready, and that was kind of what I was going for. So that's what the bathroom is. That's how it all ties into the church with, since there's a shower. So you'll kind of see me playing around with a roof up here. I think that it looks good with a roof. Like, I mean, most churches have a roof, especially like this kind of older style that I'm going for. But I ended up, like I said earlier, not doing a roof and having it be like a functional space to do like activities and stuff with for the upstairs. I just kind of thought that that would be fun for the townies if there was like stuff up there to do. So I ended up going with that, and like I said, it does kind of look like a little castle tower now that it doesn't have a roof, but I feel like it still kind of works. It still kind of makes sense in the theme of Tiny Town. And I will say, I personally don't like using ladders in The Sims. I just feel like it's not like the most realistic, but I also know that I wasn't going to be able to put like a set of stairs to go up with. So I ended up having to put a ladder to get up to the rooftop, which is honestly fine. The only weird thing is the access to it is in the bathroom, which I could change. I don't mind changing it in the future if it's too weird. But for now, it's in the bathroom next to the toilet. So if anyone wants to ever go up there, they would have to like walk in on someone if anyone were in the bathroom, which is kind of odd, but I might change that. But it's okay. So we'll just kind of have to see how my Sims interact with it and play with it. And if it's a problem, then I can definitely change it and maybe move it to be like outside of the bathroom, or I wonder if it could even be like a ladder from the outside going up. I feel like that would work too. Maybe I'll have to do that actually, because I feel like that would make more sense, and it would be kind of more like a fire escape route in like if you want some like realism to it. Because I don't know about you, but I kind of do like a little bit of realism in my Sims builds. So I might have to do that now. That actually I feel like makes a lot more sense. Okay, well, I'll take a note of that. I'll definitely fix that. But here's kind of what the finished bathroom looks like. I ended up taking that stall out. It takes up a lot of room, and I was fine with it at first because it does kind of allow whoever uses it privacy. But I mean, I also have the shower open to the whole world, so whether there was privacy or not, like someone would have walked in on you anyway. so it doesn't really matter. And then I just put a toilet behind a wall. But I think that that'll be fun. Like, you could have like a little party. And I was kind of thinking like Marina Bay, she does like music and stuff, so you could have like the DJ station and she could be like your DJ for your wedding, and you could just have like a big party on the top of the church. Now that I say it out loud, it sounds really weird, but it's just, we'll see how it goes. And of course, it wouldn't be a church without one of these like really tall, pointy things. I feel like every single church has a tall, pointy thing on the very top of it. Hopefully you guys know what I'm talking about, because I feel like every church has a tall, pointy thing. So yeah, I had to add one of those. But that is a quick kind of rundown of what the church looks like. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you guys into the game. And my laptop is overheating, ignore that sound. I'm going to take you guys into the game and give you a little bit of a tour, because I also did some other things to the town center as well. So let's go ahead and load in. I didn't think this through, because I'm currently like mostly done with the next episode. So like next week's episode, I'm mostly done with it. And my mods are disabled. Oh yeah, because there was an update. Let's fix that real fast. Anyway, as I was saying, I'm almost done with the next episode for next week. So there might be a spoiler or two for next week's. Try not to look at it while I'm showing you the build. So here is Tiny Town. I actually, okay, don't look at Olivera's house. Just don't look at it. I'm not done with it yet. Okay, here it is. Look at how pretty. So I had a lot of fun with landscaping, especially with Lucinda Charm's house. And since I was building this right after I played with her, I wanted to definitely do a lot of landscaping, because like, how adorable is this? It'll get so much better. I plan on doing like garden explosion, and I want to put up like string lights, and it's going to be really fun. I have a vision and I can't wait to execute it. But here's their cute little drawbridge, and then you come across, and I'll eventually put a path that's kind of like winding. As you can see, like the flowers are kind of like leaning this way, and I'll probably have it like kind of go up towards like the bonfire over at Rika's house, and then maybe kind of come this way. I just haven't decided yet where I want the path to be, so that's why there is no path yet. But I love all the flowers, and we're currently playing in like the springtime, I think, or maybe it's summer at this. Oh, it is summer, so everything's in bloom, so you guys actually get to see it in bloom. So that's awesome, because when I ended with Lucinda, it was winter and everything was dead. But I love all the flowers. I feel like it just makes it so pretty. And here's the church. Here's what the church ends up looking like. As you can see, it's a lot smaller than what we had before, and I love it. I love the way it turned out. I feel like it's just so beautiful. I imagined this to be like a bell tower, but then I couldn't find anything that looked like a bell to put in there. But we can just imagine that this is a bell tower. And of course I put a fountain here, and it's actually really fun because the townies actually come and like sit here during the day and at nighttime and stuff, especially Rika and Aradia, like not to spoil anything, but they come and stargaze right here all the time, and it's just like the cutest thing ever. Oh, I just love how this turned out, and I feel like it fits in a lot better now, and it's not as big. Like, there's definitely more of a walk room right here, because I feel like before Anzor's house was very like squished in by the church. So I like the way that it's looking, and I feel like, I don't know, it's all coming together. And like you can see, like there's more of a walkway with Lucinda's house now. Marina Bay's is still a little bit too close, but I feel like if I moved it up a little bit further, then I wouldn't have enough room for a like garden-esque area, which is kind of what I was hoping for in the front of it. So, but it's okay, because I think Marina might move in with Anzor once they get married. So I'm getting a little too ahead of myself though. Like, they just started dating, so it's gonna be a while for them before they actually get married, but maybe if they do one day, I think that's what will happen. So, but I guess we'll just have to wait and find out and see. But I am excited, and I do really love the way that this build ended up looking like. Again, don't look at Aloe's house. I need to fix it. I really enjoy, and I love the way that this looks, and I just think that everything is coming together, and it makes me really happy. And I hope that you guys are enjoying this, and I hope that you enjoyed kind of this little build video. This was like the first build video that I think, well, besides like the building Rapunzel's tower, and I guess we built Rika's house too. I feel like I rebuilt Marina Bay's house off, like I recorded it, but I don't think I ever posted it. But this is the first like actual build video that I'm making and posting and sharing with you guys, and it makes me really excited. And I hope you guys like the way that the new town center looks, and I hope you guys kind of are vibing Tiny Halloween Town still. I'm really excited. I can't wait to continue playing with it. We're already, as I'm recording this one, we are almost done with everyone's second episodes, and I couldn't be happier with the way things are turning into. So thank you guys for hanging out with me and watching. Thanks for joining me on this chiller video for today. So far it stands that the two people that have put the most into like the town center funds, or like just the town center in general, have been Lucinda Charm and Rika. So everyone else has got to like step it up, you know? Everyone else is not doing as well with the whole grinding to make money for themselves and also the town center. So whoops. But we'll figure it all out eventually, and I think everything is coming together perfectly. So let me give you guys one more friendly reminder to hit the subscribe button down below so that you don't miss another episode of Tiny Town, so that we can see where everyone's story takes them and how the rest of the town comes together. And again, thank you for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate it, and I hope I can see you guys again in the next one, and I'll see you guys then. Okay, bye guys.